Bukola joins me as we explore some of the things you've been saying. Bukola, thank you so much for always coming through with
Jeffrey.
my technology. Bukola.
Yeah, for both of us, Cardi as well. Don't forget. Speaking of which, security forms the major talking points for our esteemed viewers on our preferred platform X, and they start by talking about the incident in Ughelli between Okoloba and Okwama communities. And we're starting with Ejiro Siena, who is asking a very, very important question this morning. And they say, will this action bring peace? Who is responsible? Who gave the order to raise Okwama community? Well, do we have answers to those questions?
Well, the military will have answers to those questions. We are just reporting what we hear and see.
And if it was a peacekeeping mission, we understand that the Nigerian military is in practically all the 36 states of the Federation currently engaged in one form of peacekeeping mission or the other. And that's why we keep talking about how overwhelmed they are and how the police force is not living up to its responsibility of tackling internal security.
In fact, this incident has raised more questions than answers. So let's go to, this person says, Sustainable Progress Movement, that's what you call yourself, SPM. We condemn the killing of soldiers and call on the Nigerian government to investigate the nature of the crisis in the Okwama community that warranted military presence. That's a very valid point to raise as well, Bukola.
And from there we go to Odebo Day 2011, who says, funny thing is, those who may have killed these people may have fled because they know the consequence of killing a soldier. God save this country. Exactly. And we hope that things do not degenerate into anarchy in that area, particularly because those who have been killed are soldiers, and we know what usually happens after that.
Yes, we can't forget Zaki Bian, we can't forget OG, we can't forget a couple of other places. Nigerian Army is also trending on X, and Dikbo, WhatJ says, Nigeria is not a zoo. There must be law and order. The terrorists should not go free. They should be smoked out and liquidated. That's his words. Agents of darkness defending these terrorists will fail. So this is an all-encompassing statement, my guess, not just what happened in Okwama. Bukola.
This one is from Avocado, who says, so disheartening. There you have it. They gave it all in service to our dear nation. Government should do more than sending condolences. They should compensate their families and ensure their children and wives are well taken care of. That's from Avocado.
As we said,
listen.
Yeah, because as I said, this is still under investigation. The president has spoken, say, find the guys who committed this crime. Proper investigation. DHQ, you have my authority to do what you have to do to make sure that whoever committed this heinous crime pays for it and faces justice. But we need to see the full picture. How things happened. At what point were they intercepted or ambushed? What really happened? Were there also civilian casualty? How were 16 soldiers who were armed killed in one fell swoop and beheaded in that manner? So there's a lot of question concerning this issue. But let's also move on to other things that you've been talking about on X. This has to do with the safe release of female students that were abducted from the Federal University in Gusau. This person, Safety Cabal, says, thank God for their safety. Kudos to everyone involved in their release.
That's after 170 days in captivity. And we do not really know whether or not ransom was paid for their release.
That's a hush-hush.
Your guess is as good as mine. This one is from Chisom. And Chisom says, thank God. We will be glad if we can hear from them from an interview or something. I doubt that can happen anytime soon. Yeah. Well, that's not all from Chisom. She says everything did possible for this country.
The most important part of that story, Bukola, is that they have been released. I don't know. Sometimes, given what happens in the country, you will never, ever want to be in a situation where you keep guessing what the situation of a loved one is in the hands of abductors. Could the person have been killed? Is the person still alive? Or has the person survived it? It's just not a scenario anyone would like to be in. So we're just grateful that they were released.
Jeffrey, that's part of the prayers. You know, another more important one is, when will an enduring solution be found to constant kidnappings? Because after they've been released, another question you may not want to ask, but which is a possibility, is who next?
They just captured some more. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Abiodun Bello says, all the perpetrators left alone, and the perpetrators left alone so they can plan for their next action. Okay, yeah. These are the issues. We will continue on this vicious cycle, which is what you talked about, when we fail to apprehend these criminals. Bukola.
Well, this next one is from schools in Nigeria, and they say, thank God, government should do whatever it takes to ensure the safety of students across the country. And that's what we're saying. Safety of students in tertiary institutions, safety of students in secondary schools in every part of Nigeria, not just in Nigeria's north. Safety of women and children in IDP camps. You know, we could go on and on about that one, Jeffrey. But from there, let's move on to something else that Nigerians are talking about.
Yep.
You want to start, Jeffrey?
This is coming from, yesterday he did the second anniversary. You heard it from the news, the top stories. The governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, saying that for 2 years, he's been working free of charge. Basically, if you're not paid salary, you're working free, isn't it?
Oh, well,
technically, yeah.
Jeffrey, I like to stick to the fifth on that. If not, there are so many questions that I'd like to ask.
Well, he's not been receiving salaries, and his wife has no official car because for him, there's not even the office of the First Lady, so you don't even have the luxury of all the protocol that comes with it. Says, Unago Shege says, as for your salary, it's your right, sir. But for your wife, is she a state worker? Should she have an official car? Questions.
More questions today. And this one is from Toons, and they say he should collect for the service he renders. He can decide to donate it if it doesn't need it. Well, there's so many Nigerians that would need it. But from what the governor says, all of those monies are going into very, very important things that need to be done in Anambra State. As a matter of fact, quoting him, not entirely copiously now, he says that they're cutting down cost of governance to the bare bones, using his words.
Yeah, he wants to cut down as much as possible, no matter how insignificant it is. His salary, maybe over $1 million or so, or about less than that. I will need to check out the number because these are public officials, these are public documents. So you can find out how much the president earns, how much the senators, okay, let's leave that one first, how much the governors earn, but that's a controversial issue. Safety Cabal says, commendable, however, politicians are difficult to trust and believe in whatever they are saying. So see that trust deficit again, rears his head at all times. So, but it's commendable that he decided to sacrifice his pay for service to his state and refuse to give his wife a public role. Or that should be it now, because we have first ladies all over the place. Well, the Constitution of Nigeria has no space for first lady anywhere.
We have the office of a first lady at the federal level. So
let's not get there.
Jeremy, let's just leave it there.
But as far as I've seen the Constitution, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think I've seen anything first lady related. But it's just a conventional thing, this public officials and
so all animals are equal, but some are more.
They're commendable for him. So hey, there's a lot to talk about, and we're going to start with that very, very tough conversation. We've been on it for as long as we can remember, and that's because it keeps happening. Whilst we're trying to get over one, another happened, where the carnage on the plateau, and then another carnage on the plateau, and then the abduction of women, and then the abduction of children, and then the abduction of more people in Kaduna, and yet another abduction a few hours ago in Kaduna, and the killing of soldiers. It's been all over the place. What's going on? We want to find out from the experts after this break. Join us again.
We'll be right back.